my dad came into my room and said this in this moment, and he was like, I don't like, and he was so honest. He was like, I don't care. And
Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to our podcast, The Bold Tackle. We are your hosts, Sophie Howard and Oliver Howard, and we are ready to tackle bold topics in sport,
Highlight the women's football industry,
and speak about the unspoken.
If you are ready to get an insight into what really goes on behind the scenes, join us on our journey and listen in
To The Bold Tackle.
Welcome back, everyone, to the next episode of The Bold Tackle. And once again, I'm with my two friends, Jani and Lena. Hi, you two. How are you doing?
hi, I'm all good.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, proper chatty again today, them two. Ollie has asked my friends again if they could jump in, because as you know, with us, family comes first, and today is actually Mum's 60th birthday. So while he's out enjoying his lovely dinner with Mum, he's asked my friends to come and join me again. He actually never asked me, he just asked these two if they would mind jumping in again. But before we forget, there's another special birthday today. Yanni, little message?
Yeah, my sister has birthday today, so happy birthday to you. Do you have a birthday?
No, but happy birthday to your sister and happy birthday, Sophie's mom.
Good, I'm glad we got that out of the way. We were thinking a long time about what we could discuss today, because we didn't want to just cover what we did at football, because that turns into same old really. So today I thought we could discuss a topic around pressure. It's quite an important and fundamental topic, I think, in elite sport. So the first question for you, Yanni, where do you think the pressure you feel, do you feel pressure when you step on that pitch? And where do you think that pressure comes from?
Good question. So I think when I step on the pitch, I don't feel that much pressure, because it's more the excitement to play, and like I'm looking forward to play. And if you're in the game, like you're focused and like to the game, what happens, so you don't think much about it. I think the pressure is more like in and around the game, like before the game, especially, but during the week as well. And I think the most pressure but I think like a lot of players, professional players, the most pressure comes from yourself, because you have high expectations to yourself, and you want to be on your best. And I think this is the most pressure, because everyone tries to be perfect, but everyone knows as well that you can't be perfect. So I think this is where the pressure comes from.
Do you think striving for perfectionism has at times hindered you in your career?
I think it's a hard question, because first of all, it brought me where I am today, because I think without that perfection, I wouldn't be a professional footballer, because you always need to strive to be the best version of yourself, and this needs to come from you and from no one else, because otherwise it will not work. So first of all, it's a really good thing, but of course some frustrations and everything like comes from that perfectionism. Because like I said, you want to do every movement, every ball perfect, and it's a game, like it's not possible. So I think there's some frustration around that, and I think you need to find a way to have a good mix of both. Yeah, about the fun and being relaxed, and this perfectionism to be better every single day, even when you achieved something.
Yeah, good thoughts, Yanni. Lena, did you ever feel the pressure that you had to succeed when you were growing up, and you slowly realised maybe football could be something I really want to do and chase? Did you ever feel the pressure that I actually have to make this work?
Honestly, I think when I was younger, I never thought about this. So I was really playing football because I enjoyed it. I loved it. And I think as I got older, it became a bit more pressure. Of course, like Yanni said, because you want to prove yourself, like the pressure just comes from yourself. Yanni pretty much said it, like everything. I think the most important is to find a good balance. to still like have some pressure, but not too much, because too much pressure will hinder you. Yeah. And another point is also, I think it also always depends on which situation you are, like whether it's going well for you at the moment or not. And then it's also a thing of confidence. If you're really confident, I think you can handle pressure better than when it's not going that well, because you're kind of in the rhythm, and you're doing well, so everything is just easier, I think.
And where does that potential confidence come from? Is that something you have to find internally, or can you rely on other people to help you find that confidence, you think?
I think the confidence like comes from me, and how my feeling is in training, in the game, and of course as I play more games I'm more confident, and yeah, also like by someone telling me, okay, I did a good job. I mean, this is always rising your confidence. So yeah, it's both me, myself, but also the coaches, the teammates, friends.
I think that just shows how important like a good team bond is. I think you need the teammates that are absolutely honest with you and hold you accountable, but you need teammates that bigging you up, because I think we're our biggest doubters and critics, and at times we need our teammates, our friends, our coaches to remind me or remind us, you're here for a reason. And I've found so many times with both of you actually, and I was speaking to one of my really close friends, Christy Murray from Scotland, you both know who that is, about at times after training, I'd find both of you quite down and I guess disappointed with your training performance. And I'm just like, hold on, you just had an amazing session. There's one pass that you missed. Where do you think that comes from, that we're always so hard on ourselves? Because you would never speak to me the way you speak to yourself.
Well, I think it's just, I don't know, in like an athlete, that you always see the worst, or like the things that are not going well, and all the good things, you don't really pay attention to it. It's just like, yeah, it has to be, yeah, yes. So I think, yeah, a lot of athletes just really focus on what's not going well, what they're not doing well. So, yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah, and I think another reason is because the expectations from ourselves are so high. I expect to pass the ball to my teammate. I expect to save the ball. I expect to catch the cross. And so this is in my head, my normal level. Like, I expect from me to catch the cross or to save the ball. And if I don't save the ball or catch the cross, then I'm disappointed. You like, the bar is really, really high. And so you rather go like down from that than high, because like I think it would be wrong if I think like, oh, I don't think I saved the ball, and then I save it and then I'm like, oh, nice, I saved the ball. Yeah. So I think this is where it comes from, because the expectation is so high and we take everything for normal when we do a good job, because yeah, and to be honest, this is what I'm there for. Like, I'm a goalkeeper to save balls, but I think this is where the frustration sometimes comes from.
So we spoke a lot about the pressure kind of on the pitch that we put ourselves under. What about the pressure to even get on the pitch? What about the pressure of selection? We're obviously at the highest level, and you've got a squad of 20, 25, 30 players that all are there for a reason and all are capable and think they deserve to be on that pitch, rightly so. How do you deal with the pressure? And I think it's very interesting now, because we've got Jani as a goalkeeper and Lena as a striker, and they're very different positions, and therefore the pressure of selection is so different. How do you deal with that? And what are the strains you put yourself under based on that decision that has been made, whether you're on the pitch or not? Sorry, long question.
No problem. No, I think how you mentioned, like, it's really different on the positions on the pitch, because like me as a goalkeeper, mostly it is like you have one goalkeeper who's playing and the other one is sitting on the bench for most of the time. So I think this is like mentally really hard sometimes, but at the same time we grow up that. Like, it's always that goalkeeper is a special position, and the best way to deal with it is to stay to yourself, like to be confident, to show the confidence as well, and to know what you can do and to offer everything you have. And then it's like not your decision if the manager takes it or not. But I think the worst thing you can do is to get dependent from like other people and to make your value and your performance dependent from other people's. I think we all had like tough times in our career so far where maybe it's like decisions are not fair, but it's important to stay with yourself and, like I said, to know what you are able to. And I think then it's the manager's decision if you play or not. And there are always ways out of it. So I think the most important thing is to not get dependent of other people and stay true to yourself.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's the most important thing. To just stay true to yourself, give everything you can, and just try to work to get a spot like on the field in the team, and give everything. And then just you have the feeling, okay, I couldn't have done more. I gave everything, so now it's up to the manager. But I never showed a bad attitude, or I always like just stayed as I am. I think that's really the most important.
Just because Jani made a comment about one of the biggest things is not to be dependent or not to base your value and worth on someone else's opinion. That is easily said. Lena, because I think you're one of the mentally sound and most healthy professionals we have in the team that manages to deal really well with these setbacks and decisions. How do you, and that's not always the case and it's not always easy, but how do you manage to still be confident when all the decisions are going against you?
So I think every athlete in their career are facing challenges and tough times. And what me personally helped to get through those times is I also look for help, or like I'm working with a mental coach, and it's really interesting what he can do with you, and like gives you just a totally different view of a situation, and who gives you good tips, work on yourself and how to deal with different situations. And I think it's a really good thing that the mental health aspect has grown over the years, because I feel like a few years ago it was more seen like, okay, the athlete has a problem by just seeking help to get better. I'm really happy that this topic is now really big.
And Jani, just I know we spoke about it, but I think it'd be really interesting for the listeners. You obviously have gone through times where you faced challenges, and that whether that's like injuries or not playing or anything really. And you said to me, you shared with me that in the past you let other people's opinions affect you in your confidence and how you actually played, and that you've grown a lot in recent years, and that's not the case anymore, and you're very proud of yourself for making that change. What led to that change? Because it doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen just like that. Do you want to share? No.
Yeah, no. I think especially like my last years in Hoffenheim were really tough because I think it's always tough because you're a young player, and then especially in the goalkeeper's position, you always hear like, we let the goalkeeper with the more experience play and stuff, but like it's hard because like how do you get the experience without playing? So it's a little bit like a problem, and especially in the last years of Hoffenheim was really tough because I think I was on quite a good level, but I didn't play, and they got in my head because they said you were weak in your strengths, so and crosses and stuff, and always came up with other explanations, but never just said the truth and that they will never change. And this was really hard because every half a year, like usually there are decisions like in summer and winter, and you are hoping and you give everything in preseason, and every half year you hear it was a 50-50 decision. It is really close, but the other one will play. And if you do that for 3-4 years, it's like so tough to understand it, and you always give your best and it's never enough. And I think this was really hard because they could have just said, we want to play the more experienced one, which would be fine, but they tried to explain it with my performances, and I think it was hard at that point. Like, of course, you can always do something better, but I think at this point it was just not fair to explain it with the explanations they gave me, and to say always like it's 50-50 and then it's always the other one, like I don't think it's 50-50 then. So but like I said, I was quite young, and this time was so tough, but I learned so much in that time, because at one point I was like, okay, either you can let them in your head and like to let it affect your career, or you can stay to yourself. You like to yourself, find your own way. And that's what I did. I went to Munich, and I think this was like a big step to get out of the comfort zone, out of my home, living alone, having a completely new team, and the players and stuff got to know me how I am now and not how I've been when I grow up and everything. So I think this was really important for me, that people see how I am in the present and not have still the picture of me how I was as a kid and a teenager and a younger goalkeeper. So this was a really big step, but of course it needs a lot of patience to get to there, and I think a little bit of willingness to keep going to get through these times, and to still stay confident, work on your, so you're like still working on yourself, because I'm not saying I was the perfect goalkeeper, like it's not possible, but I think as tough as these times were, it improved me as a player and made me to what I am today. And like you said, I'm proud of that, because it could have gone the other way as well. I could have still been there or just to give up, and so I'm still here, so I didn't give up.
And we're so glad about it.
Thanks.
I find it so interesting. Do you want me to hold it? I find it so interesting because obviously Ollie and I have had these conversations for quite a while now, and in one episode we spoke about me seeking help and how important, first of all, the understanding is that it doesn't mean you're broken or you have a problem. You're just looking after your mental health, I guess. It's also seeking help to enhance your performance. And then we spoke about the value of communication and the right communication, and what I'm hearing from you, Jani, is if you just been given the honesty and the truth, you could have dealt with that way better. Than I wasn't there, so I can't really say, but these lousy excuses and trying to portray it as you did something wrong or you're not good enough in that area. Well, first of all, if you're not good enough in that area, why is no one helping you to work on that area? But just to use it as an excuse when it's crunch time and they have to make a decision, I think that's really hard to deal with as an athlete. But for me, the final question, just to round it off, because we started with the value of family, and I know how much you two value your family as well, and Ollie and I always speak about that. Do you ever feel like, I'm very certain your family doesn't put you under pressure, but you put yourself under pressure for your family to either make them proud, or in my case, I very much know it's making all the sacrifices and the missed time together worthwhile. That's why I put myself under pressure. Do you ever find yourself in that situation, either of you?
To be honest, no.
Okay.
Because I just spoke about the tough times in Hoffenheim earlier, and I was really struggling in this time, and I still lived at home. And I remember one evening my dad came into my room and was like, he can't look at me like that, like I'm so sad and frustrated and everything. And he was
that
like,
doesn't sound like you at all.
Yeah, and he was like, you're not yourself, and I rather have you playing in the third, fourth, fifth league, or like stop playing football, because he just want to see me happy. And this was like the game changer, because at this point I was like, other people cannot decide about my happiness, and they can let me play or they cannot let me play, but it will not, like, of course sometimes it does, but I don't let affect my life. And because my dad came into my room and said this in this moment, and he was like, I don't like, and he was so honest. He was like, I don't care. And I was like, okay, I just do it because I have fun and I enjoy doing it. And as soon as it gets, like my mental health is a problem, like I need to stop it, because as much as I love it, it's not worth it to put your mental health like on a risk. And that's why I don't feel pressure from my family, because of course they are proud and they are watching every game and asking how I am, but the only thing they care is how I am. And in the situation, my mom as well, like they showed me, and so I don't feel any pressure, but I love sharing the experiences with them.
Same. I don't feel pressure from my family. I mean, my mom doesn't really know much about football. I love that. So, she's more like, she cares more about like how I'm actually doing out of football. And of course, it's a good feeling to make your family proud, but I know they're proud of me no matter if I play football or not. So I don't feel pressure from my family. But with the years and like when I got older, now I'm thinking, okay, I'm missing a lot of time with them. So that's why I even more want to have a good time with football, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I just want to clarify before I get in trouble with Ollie. My family doesn't put me under any pressure.
No, we know.
Absolutely not. But I know, and that is my fault, but I know I absolutely put myself under pressure for my family. And when I was a little girl, I'm going to share this with you guys. When I was a little girl, my mum one day came to me and said, Sophie, you don't have to earn our love. You don't have to perform, whether that was when I was playing football as a little girl or at school or whatever, so that we love you regardless. And I was a tiny girl, and it already started there that I put myself under pressure. And I don't think I consciously thought about it, but Mum always said she had the feeling that I felt like I had to earn their love, which is quite sad, really. But I think that's just kind of who I am. It definitely, as you said, Jani, it's first of all turned me into, or made me into the person that I am, and also has made me realise my dream, I guess. And another really cute message that actually came recently, and I'm 30 years old, so people should think I'm out of this stage, but my younger brother sent me a message, and it was about kind of what to do with football, and I was in a phase where I didn't quite know where it was going, and Ed sent me a message and said, and Ollie and I almost chat every day because of the podcast, and Sam and I are like we're twins, obviously, so we speak almost every day, and Ed and I just have at the moment very different stages of life, so therefore we're not in touch every day. But he just sent me a message, and a really long message, which is very surprising for Ed, as you can imagine. But he said, so if I don't know what you're going to decide, and even if it is to stop football, I don't really care. I am proud of you, not for what you've achieved, but the person you are today. And that meant more than anything could have meant in that moment. And that was a phase where I didn't really know where it was going. And it almost, and again, my family doesn't put me under pressure, but it almost felt like a weight lifted, because I realised I actually don't have to earn their love. Yeah. And that comes from my little brother, not my mum and dad, who are obliged to love me because I'm their child. So yeah, I think that was an eye-opener, even at 30 years old. But to finalise and to sign off the episode, because you two know how important the community is to me, and how involved I am with, like, I guess, a local grassroots, and I wanted to grow the game. Thinking about all these challenges you faced, and you only scraped the surface, you never actually went deep into probably the amount of challenges you faced throughout your career. What would your message be for the young girls and boys that are potentially starting their footballing journey, potentially looking to take it quite seriously and work towards signing a professional contract? What would your advice be?
My advice would be just do what you love. Like, don't let anyone else tell you what to do, or like, even if the parents want to see you playing football or anything, like, do what you love. And to come back to that, I'm so thankful for my parents for that, because they are not from football. I'm not from a football family at all. Like, my grandpas are, but not my parents. And they were just they saw the passion I had for football and they just let me play football. So I'm really thankful for that. So this would be my advice, to just, follow your passion and do what you love. And the other thing is, don't give too much of the opinions of other people, like stay true to yourself. And I think if you want to be the best version of yourself, this is expectations enough. And I think be kind to yourself. Don't put too much pressure on you, but just enjoy the time as well, because I think there's no better job we could do.
Yeah, you really talked a lot. I think it's important that you don't let anyone else tell you what to do or what to feel, or just listen to your body, listen to your heart, to your feelings, and do what makes you happy.
Lovely, you two. Thanks so much again for joining me. I mean, you were meant to remind me that we've got potatoes in the oven.
Right.
So who knows what is for dinner tonight?
I think they burnt. Because I talked so much.
Thanks again for joining me. I'm pretty sure Ollie's going to thank you again, because you've jumped in twice now.
I hope you enjoyed the meal, Ollie.
Yeah. We'll ask him what you had, actually, yeah. Also, I don't know if you knew this, but we got quite decent feedback from the last episode.
Oh, nice.
And you did really well again tonight, girls.
I mean, I'm still waiting for the names. I got one name.
I did too. I have to take that name. Yeah. Thanks again, you two. And I'm pretty sure I'll have you in my living room again at some point. Bye, everyone. See you next week.
Bye.